national sales manager of AJ Manufacturing, and you may have heard of AJ before, but I've been selling AJ products for 15 to 20 years, and of course they specialize in a ton of stainless steel products, and as well as OR systems and fan filter units. So today, Amy's going to focus a little bit more on the OR systems that they have to offer, as well as their fan filter units. And we've seen these up and coming more and more in hospitals, especially in Utah. We seem to have a lot of the IHC hospitals going up, and this is a great product and for that application. So we're thankful for Amy for spending this time with us, and I'll turn the time over to her.
Thanks, Natalie. Can you see my screen okay?
I can. Can everyone else? Is everyone good?
Perfect. And then I just wanted to let you guys know up front, I know it's a quick presentation, so we're going to go through everything pretty quick. So if you want to, Natalie, if you want to check if there's any questions or anything, definitely let us know and we can hit those towards the end of the presentation, or you can stop me in the middle of it too, but I just know since it's quick, we're going to be going through it pretty fast. And then also I wanted to introduce, I've got Heath Throneberry, who is one of our senior engineers, and I've got Lindsay Quinn in here with me as well, who's an engineer on our team. So definitely technical questions, hit us up towards the end and we'll be able to help you out. Like Natalie said, AJ Manufacturing has been around since like the 1920s, specializing in stainless steel, and have evolved into really specializing in the critical environment space. So really what we wanted to cover today, as Natalie said, the fan filter units, our grid system, perimeter air current. We don't see a lot of those, but I just wanted to let you guys know our capabilities on that. And then our most recent SLORS system, which is our lighted operating room system, and then the fully integrated structural ceiling systems as well. If you ever want to go back, I'll show you that video, but with my luck, my computer would freeze. Critical environment products, not only do we do the OR, ceiling systems and the fan filter units, but we also have your standard laminar flows, HEPA, non-HEPA, the hinge radial flow diffuser, the slot diffusers, and then also your flat radial diffuser. This picture is going to be our fan filter unit ceiling unit on the top left there. That's a 4x2. These are going to come in pretty much, you can do any size if you wanted to. We custom build all of our products. 4x2 and 2x2 are going to be your standard sizes. The ceiling units can be supply units, recirculating units, or reverse flow units, depending on the application. We can also accommodate for, it comes standard with HEPA, but we can do, OLPAs, or you can also do those MERV 14 filters that we see sometimes as well. On these standard features is going to be your 120 volt EC motors, what we use. The backward curve fan is going to be your standard. We do offer one of our units with a forward curve fan, but the backward's more efficient, so that's usually what we recommend. Stainless steel, you can get them painted white. You can get aluminum on the face. These come with options as well with your PAO challenge manifolds and static ports, as well as the LED filter indicator light, your HEPA alerts. A couple things to note about our units that are a little different than some of our competitors is our digital face display. So you can control these via the face of the room right on the unit, and you can get CFM readout or RPM. Typically, most people that we work with or I work with are going to want CFM readout, so you can have that on there as well. Speaking of room side, everything is room side accessible. Motor, electronics, filter. And I think that kind of covers it as I sped through that so fast. Definitely stop me if anybody has any questions. This on the picture in this one on the left-hand corner there, that's our portable unit, our mobile fan filter unit. The list over there to the left there is our standard features on these. In addition to the standard features, we also have offered the bipolar ionization as well as the UVC lights, which you can have those added into the fan filter units as well. Speaking of the UVC light, it reminded me of our LED lights around the perimeter of the unit. So you can do LED lights on any of our critical environment products, and those are going to be on the perimeter of the unit. This picture is of our grid system. So that's going to be your heavy duty suspended grid system that's going to be used in your hospital's OR rooms. This goes into a little bit more detail on how we built our structure, on how we built the grid system and why we did it. Really, the way Heath actually designed this, actually he's designed a lot of these products that are in here, is to where you're not going to see a visible line when those edges butt up next to each other. Did I explain that right?
Yeah, we prefab and laser weld sections together in the factory, and then we ship them up to 72 by 72. But then when you have multiple sections in a room, which you're always going to have, if you're doing the extruded aluminum, a lot of times there's a seam that runs all the way down the length of where two sections go together. So we went with an over and under thing. You can see on the picture how when the two sections are together, it looks like just a normal T.
And this is our most recent product launch. This is the SLORS, which is your lighted operating room system. So it's going to be your laminar flows with a common plenum. These can be with HEPAs or without HEPAs. You can have these with the lights, the perimeter lights, or you can do it without lights. Typically, we see it with the lights. A couple things to note about this unit that might be a little different from our competitors is the biggest thing is probably going to be your lights. Our lights are going to be on the perimeter instead of in the center. And then also the face of our units is going to be stainless steel or aluminum, and it's not going to be plastic, which some of our other, or some of the competitors may have that plastic on the face, which we thought in a critical environment space, the stainless was going to be more sterile. You can get these painted white. Again, custom sizes, a lot of these jobs that we see, most of these jobs that we see are not normal. Some other manufacturers only offer 4x2s and 2x2s prefabricated. Ours are going to all be customizable. So going into a space, if it's already existing, it definitely helps me a little bit to customize that any size that you need. There's a submittal on the ceiling system, gives you a little bit of better idea on what it looks like. And then also you can see the damper location on that. We're going to have a slide damper in there, which is going to allow for better balancing. This goes through, again, shows you kind of the layers on that top picture, the frame base, the slide damper, and then the access panel. When we designed this, and we act like I was part of the design, when he designed this, we really took into, yes, we're a team, consideration the feedback that we hear in the market. One of the biggest concerns was the accessibility and the ease of installation. So the hanging brackets were designed, low number of hanging points, which makes that installation a little bit easier. And then the access to the hanging brackets is going to be, so they'll actually be able to install that a little bit easier.
Go back to the slides. So what we recommend, it's pretty much required when they're installing these in the field, the first thing they'll do after they inspect it is remove the grill, the slide damper, and the access panel from the top side of the unit. And once you've done that, of course, it lightens the unit before it gets lifted up in the ceiling, but it also gives full access to everything they need to both hang it from the all thread that they should be hanging down from their structure, and also if it's lighted, they'll have full access to the junction boxes, so the electrician can do all of their work without having to crawl across it and do acrobatics to get to the middle ones.
And definitely Natalie's going to have a copy of this presentation. So if anybody has any questions and wants to look at this after we get done, feel free to share, Natalie. Just a couple more submittals to kind of give you the detailed instructions that'll come along with these. The junction box, this is what this is going to be your electrical box. It's going to hold all of the drivers for the lights.
and that's so they can do maintenance easier on these systems. Typically, like if we're putting lights on just a laminar flow or a fan filter unit, we'll have the driver and the controller mounted to the individual unit. On these room systems, we typically have a panel box on the wall, either in the hallway outside of the operating room or in the operating room itself. So they can perform any maintenance or replacing of the drivers easily without compromising filters or getting above the ceiling.
This is a bigger picture of the slide damper and how it's going to work. And then the SSLORS also can be customized to fit around a unistrut if you have a unistrut that's already in the room. So we can customize that. Obviously, in situations that have the unistrut, the logistics and the communication upfront is very important because it can't be off, as you guys know, even a little bit. We can also do, AJ also has the capability of fully integrated structural systems. Again, speaking of logistics, the upfront coordination is key on these for a successful job. So definitely we need to work with your team at Long, the engineers, all the trades involved at the hospitals upfront to make sure we have all the needed information. That's a picture of a job that we did at St. Luke's in Boise. There's a couple more pictures as well. We work with a third-party structural calc engineer that helps with these too. These are just some examples of how detailed the submittals are on these to give you an idea. And some jobs that we've done. I won't go through all of those, but I think we're pretty much out of time a little bit, Natalie. So if anybody has any questions or comments, let me know. We'd be happy to hop on another call too if anybody has any detailed questions that they want to discuss or any jobs that they're currently working on. Do you have any questions?
I appreciate that presentation. Yes, and is there any questions that Amy can answer? And we appreciate Heath and Lindsay being there with us as well. On the Boise project, so that was a full-on system, like the lights, the structure, it encompassed the whole thing, the like base plates,
yeah,
the boom and all of that.
Exactly, like the boom structures, everything. Yeah.
Well, we didn't supply the boom. We supplied the structure that
the boom's attached to.
I see. And have you all been seeing a lot of these going in that direction?
Yes, we have. We've been actually seeing a lot of these. And AJ, as a manufacturer, is going that path to OR systems, structural systems. We definitely see that in this industry.
We've seen the desirability of the air curtain system, that we built a lot of those. Surgeons and hospitals are going away from that. A lot of them believe that it doesn't actually help. They would rather have a larger filtered piston of laminar air coming down on them instead of being in kind of an air curtain within an air curtain. They think it stirs up, it creates too much turbulence and stirs up stuff that, with the high velocity, it stirs up stuff that normally wouldn't be stirred up, is what we're hearing.
Interesting. And in your facility, have you done any test work with these full OR systems?
Testing as in?
I was just curious to see the differences between the curtain type, what you see, and then versus the full laminar ceiling.
Just computer simulations. I mean, we've had some jobs and, you know, visited the jobs when they're done and seen what the new ones do, and we kind of take feedback from the manufacturer or the mechanical engineer, the design engineers, and the contractors to make our product better. But as far as the airflow and all that stuff, that's mainly done with computer modeling.
I see. Okay, well, pretty cool stuff. Very neat.
Thanks,
Any other
Natalie.
questions? Okay.
It's a quiet group today.
I guess so. Yes, we appreciate your time and look forward to seeing you soon. I think Amy might be coming out to do some visits, so.
Yes, would love to set that up. And I'll
we will
bring
get
Keith and Lindsay with me.
Oh, good. And then we'll get to see your face.
Yes, sorry about that. It never fails when we do one of these. Technology is not on my side.
Well, you pulled it together, so we sure appreciate it and appreciate your time and efforts.
Thanks, Natalie. Let us know if you need anything else.
Okay, we'll do. And again, just a reminder that this is our last coffee break for the time being. So we appreciate your participation. And if we start again, we will keep you posted and do a kickoff. So thank you, and we'll talk to you later.